Western society's pretty much lost touch with their ability to connect with the land and the natural resources. We're so excited to be able to teach children about our value systems, about how we see land, how we see ourselves upon the land.
I think it's important to expand natural resources to everyone, and particularly young people. What I've found, and even my own lived experience, exposure makes a difference. And even though I knew it intuitively, being in open spaces and green spaces and blue spaces does impact your life. It expands your horizon, expands your vision.
I can see the wonder and magic in their eyes when they go to the shores of the Chesapeake Bay and collect shells or driftwood and build little ferry houses and see birds flying by, or watch a fish jump out of the water, or maybe even see an osprey catch a fish. That kind of experience changes kids' lives, makes them see the world differently.
We were meant to be outside. We weren't meant to be shut up all the time inside. Nature brings to you, it nurtures you. It brings to you peace, tranquility, a time to reflect.
Public access is important. You know, only 2% of the Chesapeake shoreline is publicly accessible. That means the rest of it is private. So it's really hard to get to the shores of the Chesapeake Bay.
As the landscape is vanishing, so is the lived experience of our truth tellers, of our storytellers.
Diversity in the conservation movement is a very, very high priority for us as an institution. It always has been. This year in particular, though, we have some deliverables which we're particularly proud of. It's both personally and professionally rewarding to work with the Rappahannock tribe to protect Fones Cliffs and reunite them with their land, which they were forcibly removed from 350 years ago.
So our return to Fones Cliffs means everything to our tribe. It's healing for our tribe to return to the land of our ancestors. And when you go there, I think it's a spirit of the land.
And that indigenous-led conservation project has become a wonderful symbol for the conservation movement. And we've seen quite a shift since that project. Numerous tribes in the Chesapeake have purchased land and been reunited with their historic homelands.
One of the things about this particular site here at Carrs and Elktonia Beach, it was owned by private citizens. It was owned by African Americans. And that's one of the very unique things I've found with this particular project. Many times governments provided spaces on public beaches for coloreds or whites only, but here all were welcomed.
It's been very rewarding to work with the Blacks of the Chesapeake Foundation to help them fulfill their vision of protecting Elktonia Carrs Beach Heritage Park.
As an African American, to be part of a project with agency, and when I say agency, we have the ability to tell the story in our own voice. Working with the Chesapeake Conservancy really moved the needle, and what I say, it represents the gold standard of public-private partnerships.
I do what I can to help the Conservancy because I believe in its mission and I'm passionate about it. I want to help them preserve everything that they have a desire to preserve.
The Chesapeake Bay is for everyone. Everyone deserves to enjoy the Chesapeake Bay. They should have access to it. They should benefit from it. It should bring joy to their lives. I think that it's got incredible biological diversity, incredible cultural diversity. I think it's as grand as the Grand Canyon, as great as the Great Smokies, and is a national treasure.